Good morning, everybody. I'm doing the Rob Fuzz because he was in his house. Good to see everybody. It is Friday. It's not Friday. It's Monday, February 15th, and it is President's Day. Good to see you all. Thanks for being here. Hey, it's cold in Minnesota. It is. I woke up this morning. The temperature was minus 26. And that was just temperature, although there was no wind chill factor. So it was just minus 26, but blooming cold here. Too bad some people had to come back from Florida this weekend. It's going to get warmer here in a week or so, but yeah, it is blooming cold here. So good to see you. I'm going to say hello to everybody in the chat here. All right. Keith, first one in here. Good to see you here. Zoe, if you're still here, good to see you. Wishing Mouse. And we've got Doug and Nikki. Good to have you here. Pearl Manhattan. She can't tag, but she's out there on the West Coast. Rob Fuzz, my partner, good to see you here. Adventures of Gonzo Miguel, always good to see you. Tina McNeil, always watching, good to have you here. Epcot Bob, my brother, whom I was referring to earlier. And we've got, let me see, Rhonda, good to see you here. DWG Adventures is Rhonda. And we've got Kadani Sean in his house. Good to have you here. I didn't really mean to say that, but hey. Let's keep going here. Hey, I think I saw Journey with the Gingers, who I'll be mentioning, and good to have you here. And let's see, what did Tina say here? Oh dear, Dean, have you frozen so much you don't know what day it is? Yeah, exactly. I got my brain got froze. So yeah, it's really cold here. And do not fear, Gonzo is here. I thought you were just on another live stream with Kelly. All right. And we've got Tina in here, T Marie's place. Awesome. Good to have you here, Tina. Thanks for stopping in. Pearl says not that cold here, but unseasonably cold. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys, for being here. I think I'm caught up on the chat. All right. So first off, I always like to mention my partner channels. We've got Resort TV One. My good friend Rob Fuzz, who's in the chat. We've got Road Trip Dave, and we've got Miguel and Danielle of A Disney Life for Me. And so I'll mention, you guys know Resort TV One. We go live on Fridays. Rob Fuzz goes live on Fridays for sure, and sometimes other days. And he goes live on Fridays at 4 with his pub talk usually, but he also does a lot of retro stuff. So if you haven't seen that, it is fantastic. He has the best retro stuff out there. Road Trip Dave, first and third Saturdays of the month, he goes live on Saturday nights at I want to say it's 9 o'clock Eastern time. And then Miguel and Danielle are not going live at this time. Hopefully they will come back. Yeah. Can you believe this? Epcot Bob did not make it to Epcot, which is very, very hard to believe. But he had a great time, and so he's not complaining. I know he had a great time, and he got to be there with his grandson, which I said, man, now that is an experience that of a lifetime. And so, all right, Tina, no, oh no, Epcot Bob, did you feel it pulling you? Yeah, he was trying to make it happen, but he had a flight challenge, so he had to leave before he could get to Epcot on Saturday. So, well, of course. Well, we got a couple of Miguel's, don't we? All right, let me go on. So I mentioned the cold weather. I mentioned my partners. I always like to go over how many shows are at the live place right now. I always recount them each week, and it is at 106. I think I said 107 on Friday, but it's 106. I forgot to take one off my list. And so I've got a goal this year of getting to 150 shows each week. And that, just to explain that I'm looking for new channels coming on. There's a lot of rules that I have at the site, so I mentioned that. If you haven't read the About Me page or the About the Live Plays page, please do so. There's a number of things that have changed in there. But yeah, we're trying to get to 150 shows each week, and we've got 44 to go. So we're doing awesome. I think we'll get there. And today, hey, we got Fisher Fun Ventures in the house again. Thanks for stopping back. Nice to have you here. Right now, there are no new shows since Friday, but things have been very busy lately. And I wanted to tell you that there was a couple of channels that have reached out to me over the weekend, and I replied back and just told them what I need to do shows. And just so you know, primarily I'm looking for shows that are weekly at the same day and time. So yeah, awesome, Kadani Shan, great, glad to hear that. We'll be looking forward to that. And then, hey, we got Chris, the Disney Baker, in here, which is one of those potential shows coming. So awesome. All right. Now let's go to the vlog awards. So a lot of you by now have gotten an email from me, which in the week of April 12th through 18th, I'm doing not just a video awards, but I'm doing a film festival and video awards. I should update this slide. And what that is during the week, I'll be featuring live streamer videos that are not from live streams, but they're regular vlog videos. And we'll be showing those. We'll be voting on them, and we'll be having some awards on Sunday, April 18th at like 7 o'clock. So, so just keep that in mind. A lot of you have replied. Thank you. I've gotten your emails, your links to your videos, and I'll be working on that some this week. So we have Sherry in the house. Hey, Sherry, good to see you here. All right. Onward ho. So here are the news items I dug up for this week. So on Sunday nights, I go looking. If you have a pre-scheduled live stream and it's different, it has something different than normal, like it's not just your normal description or whatever, but I see that you're having some special guests, some special subject, I put it here. And I got to say hi to Lisa, and it's Joey's World. Good to see Lisa and Keith and Joey as always. So thanks for being here, Lisa. Miguel is saying, can't wait for the video awards. Yeah, that's going to be fun. And Miguel has some great stuff. So really looking forward to that. Thanks, Miguel. All right, Monday, today at 4:30 p.m. To Travel and Tour. If you haven't heard of them, they've been at the Live Place for quite a while now, and they are going live today on a special show doing the Castleman's River Bridge and Spruce Forest Artisan Village. I believe that's in like Maryland, if I'm not mistaken. And so so that'll be a special live stream. So definitely check out those guys at 4:30 today. And then all right. Okay. Next. Tonight, Steve will be going live, and he is doing at 8 o'clock his normal show. He's going to be covering Walt Disney World news and rumors, and he will also be showing the Harambe drummers. So I believe, yeah, those are the ones you see at Animal Kingdom. So definitely check out Steve. You all know him. 8 o'clock tonight. And then following Steve is, of course, Meg, and she's also doing a special show on Run Disney, Virtual Run Disney. So my dentist just did the Disney, I believe it was the half marathon. And so they didn't have it in person this year, but they still had a virtual run thing where you could run and then somehow get your medals, as you see Meg has here. Well, anyway, I just wanted to say, if you guys don't know Meg, and I'm sure you do, but if you don't, she ran in all of the events like last year, which is incredible. I think you run a 5K, 10K, half a marathon, and a full marathon over like 3 or 4 days, and she did all of them, which blows my mind. I don't even, I couldn't even do the 5K right now, I'm sure. But yeah, so she's going to be talking about Virtual Run Disney. with Miss Cherry's channel, which I don't know who that is. So that'll be awesome. So Meg tonight at 9 o'clock. And then Carlos tomorrow will be doing, our friend Disney World Freak is doing a special Shooting the Breeze show. And I know that Carlos is Pete McDevitt's, one of his partner channels and a good friend. And I've talked to some with Carlos, and he's anyway, he's taking action to help our friend Pete. So all of you know, I'm sure Pete has been in the hospital, and he just really could use your prayers and your support right now. So definitely keep Pete in your prayers, his family. It's a hard time, but we'll just keep praying and believing the best for them. So check out Carlos tomorrow night. He really knows. Yeah, thank you, Tina. Pete's strong. I'll put that up here. We got to keep him in our prayers, and for his recovery. So check out Carlos tomorrow at 4 p.m. Thanks, guys. Pete Strong. And if you haven't seen, so that image on the right, the bluish one with Pete in it, I've seen that. It's available on Twitter. Like I've seen it on Rob Fuzz's, and I'm sure on Carlos's and others. So if you want to give to Pete and his medical fund and for his family, that is available on Twitter. Go look for Disney World Freak or Rob Fuzz. It doesn't matter. It'll all get to Pete. So, all right, next. And then Tuesday, Bill and Lucy from MGM Family Travel are going to be live at Key West. So that'll be fun. So they're actually going to be there. So check that out at 8 o'clock Tuesday night with MGM Family Travel. Bill and Lucy are awesome. And a lot of times they do join this show. So, okay, what's next? And then on Wednesday, 3 p.m., the Great British Mickey Waffle. So this channel will be talking about Disney Cruise Line. And again, this is what I like to point out is as we're getting more UK live streamers, we have live streams available in the middle of the day because that's obviously evening for them. So this is 3 p.m. on Wednesday. And obviously from my perspective, it's great because I like to fill out the time slots that aren't so busy. So obviously morning and afternoon. And by the way, if you're interested, the reason I did the show today at noon rather than at 8 or 9 in the morning is because I'm off today, and so just decided to sleep in a little bit. Tina is pointing out that Mouse Talk also has a GoFundMe going. Yeah, and I think there's a challenge going where Walt's going to ride Tower of Terror, and I think that's tied to that. So check out Mouse Talk as well. All right. And then finally, and Journey with the Gingers is in here. On Thursday at 7 p.m., they will be welcoming Ronnie and Alma from Life is Good Today. So, like, I know Sherry would know them. If you're in the cruising community here, you know Ronnie and Alma. They're really nice people. And so, Journey with the Gingers is having Ronnie and Alma on this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. So, definitely join that. Okay. Let's see if I got everything. Yeah, I can imagine Pearl. So she sometimes gets up at like 6 in the morning when I'm live at 8. So okay, now all right, what I'm going to talk about next, and I guess I didn't keep myself on the screen here, but I wanted to talk a little bit about podcasting. Let me go back to here first. So I'm just going to be like really honest and tell you that, but before I got into live streaming, I was into podcasting. In fact, I don't know if Bob's still in the chat, but we did the first podcast that I ever did was called Recapturing the Future. And I have to tell you, it was a blast. Bob and I and a friend named Josh, different Josh, not the Resort TV One guy, but another friend, Josh. We did a podcast because we were interested in, kind of Rob Fuzz would be interested in this. We were into retro stuff. We like the past vision of the future. So we did a podcast about it, and we talked about the World's Fairs, and we talked about obviously Disney World and some of the early years, and we talked about how some of the technology was going faster in other countries than the United States, like Dubai and China and so forth. And so we did this podcast, and I just loved it. And so I didn't have enough news items to fill up the whole show today, so I thought I would just spend the last 5 to 10 minutes telling you a little bit about my podcast, and a podcast that I would like to do someday if things fell into place. And so here are the podcasts that I have worked on. The first top one here is the Dreamer's Empire. It says below that, Recapturing the Future. So uh, that was the podcast that Bob and I did, and it was a lot of fun. And you can catch all these podcasts, by the way, on the internet if you just look for them. They're all at iTunes, and you can find them at Stitcher and other platforms. But if you're into podcasts, one of the things that I always tell people is the beauty of a podcast is it forces you to think more because you're trying to imagine what you're hearing. I like the art of creating audio to tell a story because it makes you have to picture it in your mind and imagine it. And so I really like them, and this is where I'm going to be really honest. I would rather do a podcast than a collab live stream, because to me, you don't have the pressure of the camera being on you, and it's all about what you're talking about. So I really liked it. I'm going to bring this comment up here. Tina says he's already surpassed the goal for him to ride it twice. So that's Mouse Talk. 1,000 viewers on the stream will have him riding a third time. Oh man, I couldn't do Tower of Terror once. I wouldn't agree to do that. But any donations will help the McDevitt family. Yeah, that's a great point. Thanks, Tina. Bob pointing out that Recapturing the Future was fun. It was a lot of fun. And Tina is saying, I love this kind of stuff. Yeah, these all sound fun. So, hey, we got Blaine in the house, Really Creative Travel. He goes live tonight on Monday nights as well as other times, but definitely check out Really Creative Travel tonight. Okay, I'll finish talking about the podcast. So the second one, The Dreamer's Moment, is basically me interviewing people. My computer's being weird. Me interviewing people who are chasing a dream. And I interviewed some really cool people. In fact, I'll go back to camera here. I have a good story to tell there. So I was able to interview people like Rob Fuzz. But that's on a different podcast. But Josh and Jenna were on The Dreamer's Moment. Lou Mangello, if you've heard of Lou Mangello, I'm sure I was able to interview him. And then I had an interesting thing happen. Okay, so I was reaching out to entrepreneurs, and I looked on the internet. Show me people who have quit their day jobs to pursue their dream. And I came up with a great article that had 16 entrepreneurs that had quit their day jobs and just went all in for chasing their dream. And they had contact information for him. So I thought, well, I wonder if I could get a couple of them to do a podcast interview. So I sent out emails to 16 of them. And to my surprise, 11 of them in fact, I think it was 12 and then one dropped out, but I got 11 of them agreed to do interviews. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was not expecting that. And so all of a sudden I had all these interviews to do. And I remember I was really stressing out. And then to boot, I didn't look close enough to see who some of those people really were. And I mean, they were all, well, not all of them, but most of them were very successful, including a lady who had been on Shark Tank. named Lori Cheek. I should say a gal or lady, but Lori Cheek, I interviewed her. I interviewed a guy who owned high-end restaurants in Houston, Texas. I interviewed other very successful entrepreneurs. One guy in the financial world who is really successful. And so it was a nerve-wracking time because these were successful people agreeing to come on my lowly podcast. But check out the Dreamers Moment. That was a lot of fun. And then I'm getting to a point here, folks. So thank you for hanging in there with me. This will be fun, I hope. And then I did one on the Lone Ranger. So if you didn't know, there's a lot of audio that after so many years becomes public domain. So you don't have to get approval. You can play it. And I went out and on this website got about 200 and some episodes of the Lone Ranger. And I'm talking the original radio show Lone Ranger. So it's all scratchy and it sounded funny. And I put out half of the episodes in 2-part segments, and I did it for over like a 2.5-year period. And that was right when I started doing the live plays, and I couldn't do it all anymore. And so I took a break from it, and I really found that um, the demand for the Lone Ranger, it was doing okay, but it wasn't enough for me to spend the time doing it. So anyway, the Moral Code Tales of the Lone Ranger is out there. Definitely, if you like old time radio, you should check it out. And Blaine is saying, my wife and I have read about some of these people who quit their jobs to pursue their dreams. It gives us all hope to pursue those dreams and just go for it. But Blaine, that's exactly why I wanted to talk about it today, because that's always been a desire of mine. Not necessarily easy to do, as Bob would say. We kind of got the golden handcuffs. When you've got a job, when you've got benefits, it's hard to make that move, but it's still a dream of mine. So and I'm going to share with you something that I did here. And finally, This Happy Place. And that podcast, again, that's where I interviewed people like Rob Buzz, Road Trip Dave, Mickey's Magic Meg. Bob says here, okay, I just called my boss and quit. This I pity you. No, yes, wouldn't that be awesome? Keith is saying, what do you say here? My podcasts are from my YouTube streams. Oh, okay. I tried to do that, Keith, and it didn't work out so well for me. I guess that's a strategy that you have to decide on. Tina says, I'm old enough to have listened to the old time radio shows. We used to listen during supper. Oh, wasn't that the day, Tina? I just miss those days a lot. And Tina is back. All right. Good to have you back, Tina. Okay. So let me keep moving here. So again, This Happy Place, I did a lot of interviews of people in this community. I mentioned some of them, Rob Fuzz, Meg, Mickey's Magic, Mouse Talk. I did an interview of them. So many of them, guys, and I can't even think of them all now. So if you want to listen to any of these podcasts, go out to the internet, just type in their names. The top left one, the one I did with Bob, is Recapturing the Future. And then type in iTunes and you will find these podcasts. So put a fair amount of work into them. Okay, now, okay, you ready? Here's my sort of fun part of the show. I see I'm really down to the end of the half hour here, but I can go over. And when I started working on that, oh, and you saw here the logo on the left, Life. I had a partner. I still have a partner in the podcast thing, and David and I started the Life Podcast Network, similar to the Live Place, where it was family friendly and trying to bring some good medium of entertainment to people. Started the Life Podcast Network, and my dream was that someday I would quit and do something full time, entrepreneur, And so I decided to create a podcast that would it would capture that. It would be it would be, oh, I'm just going to tell you what it was. It was called Leaving for Good. And when I thought I could be 1 year away from leaving my full-time job and pursuing my dreams, I would start to do this podcast. And I had gotten some voice talent, and I created a little intro video so that in each of the first 8 episodes, it would play the story of a man who gets up every day and goes to work and doesn't love his job. Okay. And I got a great voice talent guy on Fiverr to do somebody, and I think you'll recognize him. And so, all this talk, I'm going to finally play the intro of the podcast called Leaving for Good that I've never, and Bob knows this, he's heard it. And I've never played this for anybody other than Bob. And it's the story of a man who, like I said, he isn't in love with his job. He gets up every day, and again, remember, podcasts are all about audio and the imagination it stirs up and so forth. So blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Sit back and relax and listen to this roughly 2-minute intro for that podcast. Here we go. I'm going to be quiet now.
The sleeping creature is awoken by an unnatural noise. It startles him. Groggy, the primate, stumbles into an area where he will meticulously groom himself for the day. Once completed, he moves into another part of his nest where he prepares a hot, dark brown beverage brewed from ground beans that come from a tree. The mammal is slowly waking, staring ahead with a blank look on his face, planning a series of events that allow him to eat and maintain ownership of his nest. He eventually leaves his nest and joins thousands of other mammals, all on a trek to the place where superior primates will tell them what to do. Yet this primate is actually dreaming of leaving for good.
Welcome. This is Leaving for Good, the podcast for those who want to quit their day jobs and pursue their own dreams. Tired of that 9-to-5 job? Feel chained to your desk? Ready to be your own boss? Join us as we talk to others who have done exactly that and learn how you can take those next steps to freedom.
Okay. I hope you enjoyed that. So come on, nobody said who's the voice that you were hearing there. Yes, Bob, David Attenborough. Man, was that guy spot on or what? I mean, like, I love that what he did with that. So that is only the first of 8-part intro that I had him do, which would get me 8 episodes and tell this story of how this man goes through all these things and finally gets the nerve to quit his day job. So Lisa says, it sounds like an alien with a British accent doing National Geographic observations. I think Chris, I'm not sure what you mean there. I'm doing that in 44 days. Okay. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but cool. So, all right. Well, I hope you like that. And if I ever think, and I don't think it now, hey, happily ever 80 is in the house here. So, yeah, to be honest, Yadi, I'm kind of wasn't sure how I pronounce your name, but she goes live on Friday nights at 6 now. She's a brand new streamer to the live place. So welcome. Glad to have you here. Bob is saying the script is awesome. Glad you liked it. Yeah. I hope you like the rest of it. Like I said, it's an 8-part script that I had him read. And we have Jim, more sunshine please, in the house. Good to see you here, Jim. And happy Monday to you as well. So yeah, anyway, if I ever think that this pursuit of a dream was actually could happen, I'm going to give myself 1 year and play that podcast once a month to sort of cover my progress, if you will. Will it happen? Well, yeah. Oh, yada. I got you. Yada yada yada. Okay. And her Friday podcast is called Hayes Happy Hour. Hayes Happy Hour, and it's at 6:00. Okay, well, I'm right at the end. Again, if you are a live streamer, you have any special shows, any cancellations, special guests, let me know about that, and I'll do the best I can to get it on. One of the things I mentioned in an email to all the live streamers this last week was I try to do the best I can to keep up with the impromptu live streams that aren't at the same day and time every week. So if you're the easiest ones to manage are the ones that I can use the same title, description, and event image every time. But I do try to capture some of the impromptu ones. So we do what we can. And that is it. So hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for swinging by, guys. I'm going to call it a day. Have a good President's Day, and I will see you on Friday. Thank you.